So day 3 was our second night there. Night here. It's not a there. It's a here. I'm here. So day 3 was waking up and that first morning of waking up and hearing the sheep and the cows after, and watching the light from the sun as the sun rose. The sun was shining on the side of the geodome and it was like a bit of like an orangey glow, and looking at the patterns in the bamboo, and it was amazing, it was truly amazing. And what a way to wake up. And got up and Leon was up and about and he'd set up the camping stove, which was brilliant because it meant I could make Leon coffee, but he'd already made coffee, which meant I just had to pour water in with my tea bag. I was like, yeah, I could have a cup of tea, which made the morning even better. Like, Leon had a list of stuff that he needed me to go out and get. I did a few bits here, got a few other bits sorted, retied the geodome, thought about putting the guy ropes on, didn't. Thought, what do I need to get? Oh, sod it, I'll just go out. So off I went toddling to the Castello Branco, which was cool because I went and got a load of stuff. What we needed. I can't even remember what it was, and I was there in my head was going, you need this, you need this, you need this, blah, blah, blah. And there in front of me was Jack, and Jack's an amazing guy. Is come into my life. His missus is called Valeria, and Valeria and Jack, they've just appeared in my life as I was coming over to Castello this way. We made contact about doing some spannering work and stuff, and there he is now. He does construction and he knows all these things, and it was like, wow, hi, this is my list from Leon kind of thing. And he was like, oh, no worries, I'll sort you out. And he did. And he took me into Brico-Marché, and he speaks amazing Portuguese, and he sorted out everything so that the guy loaded my trailer, so I wasn't capable of lifting anyway, but the trip to Brico-Marché was amazing. The guy in Brico-Marché was lovely. They sorted out what I needed. He listened to me, sorted everything out, and then got me back the car loaded. At which point I remembered that I'd left my gas bottle outside and I'd forgotten to buy gas. So I bought the gas, gets myself back here with all the stuff. And whilst I was on the way, I called into Marché to find out some people neighbours had been turning up saying, this is my land and this is the border and blah, 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 blah. So Leon had just got out of the way because there's no point talking to someone and their mate while they're running about being arses. So that's what he did. He pulled over to one side down the road, so he'd call me. So when I was coming in, he flagged me over. So we just stopped, and so I did the Google Translate, came back, spoke to another neighbour who was lovely, who had done it all in Portuguese, and they talk English. So the neighbour next door but one. So I talked to them and they're like, yeah, we'll translate for you. We really don't mind. It's lovely to meet you and all that lot. It was absolute star. And he sort of contacted the neighbour and said, any issues at all, like, let him know and we'll sort everything out. And he was willing to translate. Awesome. So then no one turned up. That's when me and Leon went for frangle and potatoes. We didn't know what we were getting. Went to this cafe and he goes, we're nearly out of food. And we said, oh, we'll just take some food. So that's what we were given. And that turned out to be the speciality in the cafe, which is like awesome, epic win. So we didn't have a fire that night. But what we did do was get an early night because we was absolutely shattered after we went to the Chinese. We went to a Chinese Loja, which is like a hardware shop, and we got what we needed for the next day. So Leon was ready to go, because Leon likes being ready to go and doing things. Is like a really hard worker. So off we got back here, went to bed, me and Bats in the Geodome, and I'd not tied my roof on again. It's okay. So I was like looking up thinking, maybe tomorrow. I better do it actually, because it's going to rain. But when I got into the Geodome, I'd put the double bed in there, and I realised that I'd got a couple of bolts in my pocket. So I managed to fit the double bed up and put the mattress off the floor onto the double bed. Which meant I finally got to sleep in a bed properly, which meant that I was further away from the floor and I still didn't sleep very well. But it was just, I don't know, it was just a lot of stuff going on, so not much, So gets up in the morning, Leon was up, we sorted things out. Leon was away cutting out the roof hole and rendering the roof in there. And as he did that, I was sorting out in here. I mean, you can't tell it's been sorted very well because you just can't. But I assure you I have. So, excuse me, I've been sorting boxes, sorting out food and putting things in safe places. So I try not to lose them. Put like things in plastic, because it's off grid. You've got to be careful. You don't want to be creating a takeaway for rodents or anything. So been putting all the pasta and things like that into black boxes so that they're sealed, resorting out the other boxes, putting everything so that it's a practical kitchen space to be able to sort out food and stuff. I've managed to get a few bits done, get a wash, which was awesome, get changed because I found some clothes that weren't for working in. And Chris came down and we went to the drag race because hell, like, I know that I'm an earth keeper and I know that I take everything very seriously with being eco-friendly and permaculture and things, but I really do like a bit of petrol or a bit of diesel or both. So to be there and watch the drag race and just let my hair down and eat Portuguese cake and enjoy life Portuguese style was amazing. I mean, you go to Santa Pod, you pay a fortune, and here you go to a Portuguese drag race day and it's €5 and water's a euro, and everything's just so chilled out and lovely atmosphere and families and dogs and all sorts. It's just so amazing. So it was a really lovely way to have an afternoon, and Chris then wanted a takeaway, and they actually have an Indian takeaway in Castelo Branco. They have a few. So we went to this new one, got a takeaway, and then Chris dropped me off here and gave me a load of firewood. So I'm well grateful because I've got firewood, which is super cool considering it's still raining. Can you hear it? Sounds so good on the roof. And then I went to sleep in the Geodome, and it was another night of not putting the roof down, not tying the roof down. it didn't rain, thankfully. And I mean, I had my takeaway. So me and Batty sat on the floor of the Geodome and I ate my takeaway and it were lovely. And then we had a good sleep. And that was a beautiful end to a beautiful day. Unfortunately, Leon didn't come drag racing because Leon needed to get back and rest, which he has been doing since. So, as much as I know Leon would have loved to be at the drag race, he wasn't, but there's always next time, I'm sure. But yeah, so it was my first night on my own on my land, and it was really good, and I did sleep, and it was a beautiful night. But I did wake up a few times in the morning, but I heard the owl again and the sheep and the birds, and today little wagtails visited a few times. So yeah, absolutely awesome day. And that was that was the 6th, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, on to the next day.